Welcome back to the Watchlist, a series where we take a look at a stock and look at the positives and negatives of it and kind of look at the idea of should we buy it, should we sell it. And today we are going to be taking a look at AstraZeneca. Now, AstraZeneca, a pharmaceutical company, they're involved in the vaccine kind of industry and that big race at the moment to get a vaccine that is going to be very effective against every type of variant and one that's really easily accessible and used and proven to be safe. So essentially in recent weeks, around the 11th of December, AstraZeneca announced the takeover of a US pharmaceutical company called Alexion at a price of $39 billion, which represents a 45% premium to Alexion's share price. Now, this basically means that if Alexion's share price was $10, AstraZeneca were willing to pay $14.50 for every share out there. So it's quite a big premium in terms of their value on the stock market. And obviously this means that AstraZeneca have to get a loan, and when there comes loan, there comes interest, and investors didn't really like the idea of paying such a large premium or getting out a big loan to pay this deal. And so the share price decreased from $81 all the way down to currently $73. Now, I've previously traded AstraZeneca, made 20 quid here and there. I'm currently in on them. After I saw this fall. However, they are going down. I offer no opinion on this because I'm not a financial advisor. But essentially, we're going to take a look at some of the aspects and positives and negatives of their stock right now. So firstly, they have a PE ratio of 51, which their price to earnings ratio is very high. Now, the lower the price to earnings ratio, the better. And if we take a look at GlaxoSmithKline, a rival company, let's say a similarish market cap, AstraZeneca are 30% bigger on average. Their PE ratio is 5 times less, which is arguably much more attractive. Heading back to the AstraZeneca stock beta, it's 0.23, which is, the lower the beta kind of implies, less volatility. However, recently, due to many things, they have been quite volatile, but over, I guess, the longer period of time, they're not too volatile relative to everything else. But I think everything right now in the last year is incredibly volatile. Now, aside from the big Alexion deal, AstraZeneca are slightly behind Pfizer and Moderna's in getting a vaccine approval. However, the difference between AstraZeneca's vaccine and other vaccines is that theirs doesn't and wouldn't have to be stored at minus 70 degrees, I believe, and it's kind of a vaccine more for the developing world who can't afford the expensive prices of, let's say, Pfizer and other vaccines out there. So I think it's quite a good prospect that their vaccine is different and unique in its own way. And look at this news. Recently, they've been saying that this vaccine should be effective against the new variant, and they're saying that there's a chance that the AstraZeneca vaccine might get approved just after Christmas, scientists claim. Now, once again, this is all claims. There's no real proof or anything, but I think once again it's a very, very interesting perspective and prospect. As well as this, they expect this new deal that has sent the share price crumbling a bit. Is expected to generate a lot more revenue for the company in the long term. So I think, I'm not entirely sure what's going on with this stock currently, but the long-term view, in my opinion, assuming the vaccine gets approval and works, could be fairly positive. I mean, the industry overall, in a time when pharmaceuticals and viruses and everything like that is going to be such a big thing, it almost looks like a decent investment to make for the long term. Now, they've peaked at $95, I think, at one point, or $91 recently, and now they're at 73. Before Corona, they was also trading around 77, 70, 74, and I kind of thought that with Corona, there's going to be so much more future funding towards the pharmaceutical industry to prevent, that germ warfare or that biological warfare. So I'm currently think that it's a fairly good prospect, AstraZeneca. Obviously, time will tell. I'm no financial advisor. Anything I have said or do say in this video cannot be taken with any proof or anything like that. Do not listen to me or make decisions based on what I say. And it's going to be an interesting ride to see what happens with them. And yeah, thank you for tuning into this week's episode of The Watchlist. I'll catch you again very soon.